So it's the time of year when you really need to think about scaling everything down. And you've probably heard that on a lot of different videos about scaling down for winter. So I'm going to talk to you about what that actually means. So you guys at home know when you're going out on the bank that all these little changes, all these little things will make a difference to your fishing. So why do you need to do that in winter? Well, effectively, the fish don't feed with the same sort of commitment, or they don't tend to be as ravenous as they can be in the warmer months. You just know yourself, when you hook a fish, it's more lethargic, they don't fight as hard, everything is almost like a little bit easier, almost like a little bit steadier. If you imagine the fish are colder, they're all starting to shut down during those winter months. So when you're fishing, you can still have great days. In fact, some of my best ever days have been in winter, because the fish will still feed, but you've got to balance your approach to suit. So just for example, imagine with your float fishing, I've got one of my favorite floats here, an F1 maggot in a 412. I'm always looking for the lightest possible float I can get away with. So I'll always make sure that if I think I can fish a little bit lighter, I will do 412s, spread my shot out a little bit more. I'll have my float dotted down, and I'm not exaggerating. You can see it's nice and bright, you're going to be able to see it, but it'll be dotted right down. None of this like half a bristle showing and that, like you might do if you're waiting for a positive bite on meat in the summer. You want to be nicely, everything dotted down, everything more refined. It's reflected in my hook box. So like one side of my hook box there is, you can see the XSH and the GPMs. They won't be getting touched for the next few weeks. It's all going to be about SFLs, and then maybe a GPM on the biggest, or the days when I'm really bagging. But look, really small hooks, 18 to 011, that's going to be the sort of hook that I'm looking for. Tinier hooks, tinier hook baits. Don't be scared to get those 2mm Pro expanders out of the bag. You know, everything's going to be a bit smaller, everything's going to be a bit more refined, and that also applies to the lines that you're going to use. So you can see there, tied up on 011. I'm going to be fishing with really light lines in winter. Anything that I can reduce down on my hook length, even if I'm method feeder fishing, it doesn't matter what it is, I won't hesitate to go down to 010, and that's all balanced with lighter elastics as well. So you'll be picking up, you know, like your Dura slips, you'll be thinking about your 7s, your 9s. You're not going to be looking at those stronger grades. And of course, because everything's softer, because everything's smaller, just take your time. The fish are taking their time as well. They're not charging around in the same way. You're going to land just as many fish, if not, you probably have a better ratio than those crazy summer fish anyway. So I really want you to think about that when you're fishing, when you're getting out there on the bank in the next few weeks. Scale everything down, refine everything that little bit further, and you will put more fish in your net.